Hey guys, Clint Brown here. I wanted to shoot this video. It's going to be very raw and unedited. I might have to break it up into a couple of pieces. My phone might ring, someone might walk through the door. Nobody knows I'm shooting this, so I didn't tell them to stay away from us shooting. I've got my mountain man beard on. I haven't taken my beanie off. But I got a Facebook email from, or Facebook message today from a guy named Geoff. I don't know Geoff, but he's wanting some advice. I typed out a quick answer on my iPhone this morning, and then I realized I need to kind of dive into this a little bit more. And so let's jump into it. It's possible that my flip cam batteries might go dead while we're shooting this. So if it happens, I'll just pick up when the batteries recharge. But I want to kind of dive in. Here's this question. I don't know Geoff's situation, then he has a .com. That .com markets is some sort of lead capture website for his home-based business. And that's about all I know. What he was apparently doing was spending his money on advertising, I'm assuming, to get people to that site, and his question is, should I be spending that money on SEO instead of advertising? And my answer was essentially, no, I wouldn't be doing either of those things. And I gave him 5 things to do. The 5th one is SEO, but I kind of wanted to explain why these are my answers. So I'm going to write them up here, what the 5 things I told him to do were, and I'm going to kind of break down each one. So, and I'm going to see if you guys can see this on the camera. Alright, so the first thing I told him to do is social media. Number 2, we got to look over here at my email to him. Email. 3 was articles. But syndicating them. 4, video and syndication, and then 5 is SEO. Let me explain why I said this. So if you're just one of those that can only watch 2 minutes of video, why I say this, then you can move on, and I'm going to go break down each one of these. But if here's your website, and people are coming to it, and here's a prospect, right? And they're coming to your little web page. They're probably passing through the Google world, right? And so when they go to Google to find you, and your thought process, maybe this is Geoff's thought process, and I don't know, so Geoff, I hope you're watching this. Maybe you could send me another message to kind of clarify, but is that if I do better SEO on my site, I'll more please Google and I'll more find them. That's part of how Google works. Google basically says that, you know, they crawl your site, and then they say, does this site, what content does it have, and how should we organize it, basically. Like a libraries, if you guys remember the old card system of finding books at the libraries before computer, you know, whoever's in charge basically says this book should be categorized as a nonfiction, Library of Congress, and this is where this goes in here, and here's how we're going to find it. Google does the same thing, except for they also look at how everybody else is. It's like a social system. So let's say I wore a shirt that said I am cool. Well, that's essentially what you're saying on your website, and Google could say, well, he says he's cool. Let's see what everybody else says. So they crawl everybody else's website, and then they count how many times other people are pointing to you, and how they're pointing to you, and what pages they're pointing to. They're also monitoring what's going on your site, and potentially monitoring how many clicks you get when you're on the Google search results, and all sorts of things that are super confusing that even Google can't explain. And so while you saying you're cool is important, other people saying you're cool is more important. And so that's why I recommend these things, because this is you saying you're cool on other sites that Google may not know is you. So that's like you going around and buying up billboards around town and giving everybody else t-shirts that says Clint is cool. Then somebody new coming to town might say, well, geez, the billboards say it, everyone's wearing a t-shirt, who is this Clint guy? It's better than just me wearing a t-shirt saying I'm cool. And so, unless you can get other people on their websites to link to you, and bloggers, and you can do something that's interesting enough people are going to link over, you need to be going out and doing these other things. So let me get my handy dandy eraser here and kind of talk about these other things. If you just do SEO, it's akin to just fixing what's on your website, and you're not going to get what you expect. So let's say you've hired an SEO firm, and they just tweak your code on your page, your title tags and meta tags and H1 tags and all that kind of stuff. Can that help you? Yes, but it's only going to influence what else is going on, the outside stuff. It'll just better coincide. You know, so here's website A, right? that has a link to your website. Let me see if you guys can see that. And so when I'm up here on Google, it basically, in this site's going to show on Google, it's also measuring this here to determine that result. And so what you say about yourself is part of the equation, but what these other sites say about you is the other part of the equation. And these other sites hopefully are you over here, which is kind of reiterating what I said earlier. And I apologize for me being herky-jerky explaining this because I'm literally just walked into the office and turned on the flip cam. But so social media, really Facebook, Twitter, probably LinkedIn, maybe now like Google Plus and Pinterest, sites that have a lot of activity going on. You need to be out there and adding value. It's a simple process. I have this, what I call the massive opportunity formula, which is essentially add value. It's actually relationship first, plus add value, plus follow-up equals massive opportunity. Again, that's relationship first, plus adding value, plus follow-up equals massive opportunity. This follow-up is obviously happening, Geoff, on your site because you have an opt-in form. So I assume you're calling these people or emailing them back. But this relationship first and adding value happens out here on social media. So let's say that I didn't even look at your products, but let's say it's a health and wellness category. Then you should be adding value, teaching people stuff about their health and wellness. Maybe your products have benefits to keep people's homes safer, or dietary supplements, or make them skinnier, I don't know. But you should be giving information that's helpful. Other people see your Facebook status like, wow, that was really helpful, I like that. Or they retweet your tweets. Or maybe you've got a photo of a recipe or something that you can upload to Pinterest and that gets pinned a bunch of times. Or on LinkedIn, you're teaching something about how being healthier helps their business. But putting stuff out on social media, that's something you need to do every single day. You need to get on there. I religiously update my Facebook status. I tweet not as often as I should, but I keep it social and fun, and I'm just wanting to keep people around paying attention. But I'm adding value. I try to make people smile. Again, if you follow me on Facebook, you see a lot of silly stuff. I'm trying to build the relationship out here first and add value, teach people something. So like this video is going to get posted on there, and people, I guarantee you I'll get a ton of Facebook messages and emails and people liking the video. That's me doing this. I'm not asking any of you for money for watching this video. It's just something value. Email, you want to do email. The current stats say 1 to 4 times a week with a link. And so if you're watching, right now I'm shooting this video at the end of January in 2012. If you're watching this video sometime later, who knows what the rules are. But back in around October, November, Google started changing things and they're monitoring not only how often do you email, how many times people open it, but are they clicking. So really what you want to get is someone to click in your email, which means that they opened it. And so you need an email list. So those people you have opting in, hopefully you're regularly communicating with them. You need to be adding value to them, and you need to be communicating probably once a week at minimum. I know I follow like Ryan Lee online, and he emails 4 times a week. And what that does is just keep not only top of mind awareness, but keep Google and Gmail specifically happy, because they say this is a pretty regular communication between Ryan and Clint. Clint opens emails and clicks on the links he must like, and we're not going to put him in the junk folder. If you email less than that, right now studies say that you're going to eventually go in the junk folder. But you need to be emailing these people. These are free. I mean, you get out there and it's not that hard to sit down and do an email. I'm getting ready to send out an email to a bunch of people. It's just straight value. It's 5 tips. There's not even a link for them to buy anything. There's links to find out more information, but not to buy anything. So again, I'm building a relationship, adding value. Article syndication. Hopefully you blog, or you write articles, or you'll find articles that you can massage and spin to be your own articles. But articles, basically people consume. This is how people consume information on the internet. I mean, think about what you're doing. Geoff, think about how you, when you jump online, you're probably on social media. I mean, obviously Facebook means you're seeing Facebook, you're consuming information that way. You check your email, I assume. You're consuming information that way. And you're probably either reading something or watching a video. That's probably everything you do. So you're basically going out there and touching people in the way that they're already consuming information, but you're giving them something that's helpful. People like buying from companies that are helpful, and they're much more interested specifically in a home-based business opportunity if you're helpful beyond just the opportunity. But write articles. I mean, if you're in health and wellness, man, you need to wake up every day, set your alarm clock an hour early, and pen out an article every single day. I mean, I write a lot of articles, probably on a weekly basis. They're not all under me. I mean, I ghostwrite for lots of people, but we probably turn out, I don't know, maybe 50 blog posts a week, or 50 articles, sometimes much more than that. We've done as high as 100 a day with my team. So turn out tons of good content. We syndicate it, meaning that we post it on lots of different sites. We spin the article, post it again, spin the article, post it again, spin the article, post it again. We use Trafficizer to do that, which is a software you can buy. It's about, I don't know, $100 a month. It'll also do video. So you shoot a video that's teaching people something specific. Gosh, in health and wellness, there's an endless number of topics. You can literally just read the health section of CNN every day and do a video response to those that teaches something from your angle that adds value. Syndicate that out. You want it on YouTube and Vimeo and all those different sites. Again, we use Trafficizer to do this. And then all of those are pointing, right? They're all pointing to your website. Can you see that? They're all pointing to your website, right? So people are on Facebook. They see your interesting post. They go to your information page. Got a link to your website. On your email, your signature maybe, or hey, for more information, go to my website. Article, you read the article at the bottom. For more information, go to my website. Videos in the you could even like do a watermark on the bottom of the video or a title, and in the description, learn more. Go to my website. You start sending that in. Google pays attention to all of these pretty heavily. And now you got value. So now you're where people are. You're talking to them in the way they're consuming the video or consuming the information, and then you're sending them to your website. If you're doing all those things, then I might go through and make sure my title tags and all that stuff jive with where I'm sending people. But if you're not doing any of this, this is all just passive. This would be akin to you having a little bakery here in town, and inside the bakery is awesome, but outside there's people have no idea how to get there. There's no advertising. Nobody's been there before. You're just sitting there. And let's say Google comes and visits, and that's like you having a line in the phone book that says there's a bakery on such and such street and here's their phone number. That doesn't help you get business. Consumers going there, people seeing your name out and asking them to come there. You've got to get out in the marketplace. Conversely, you could have very great presence in the marketplace and have a so-so bakery and still do really, really well. Obviously, like, I don't know anybody who would agree McDonald's is the yummiest food, but they're probably one of the biggest advertisers, and they move more food than just about anybody. They outmarket everybody else, where there might be a little place in town that's got the best food you've ever eaten, and none of your friends have ever heard of it. They don't have the marketing budget. So if you're going to spend money, let's say you got $500 or $5,000 a month, spend money doing this, you're going to have huge results in your landings and what's going on there. You're going to get a lot of activity versus just doing SEO. And if you just want to straight brute force yourself in, you can do pay-per-click or Facebook pay-per-click or pay-per-thousand CPM type situation, pay-per-view. But I'm all about adding value. Again, I want a situation where I can focus on the relationship with my prospects. I can add value, then I follow up with them, and that leads me to a massive opportunity. It does not lead me to money. It leads me to the opportunity for money. Just like many of you watching this right now, I've never received money from you. Maybe some of you I have. But my job is to do these things, and when the opportunity presents itself, then there'll be a business transaction. But some of you watch my videos for years and never give me any money. Fine, I don't care, as long as what I've got is helpful. So this is kind of the down and dirty video answer to Geoff's response. Geoff, again, if this is helpful, add you any clarity. Anybody else watching this would love to get your feedback. I don't know if there's comments below. I don't know where this is being posted. So shoot me an email, jump on Facebook and find me, and let me know what you think. But this is what we focus on. This is, SEO firms want you to think this is really important because it's something we like, situations where we can hyper control the details, but being placed on Google is outside of your control in a sense. You can influence it with these things, but you're not entirely in control of what Google does just because you got better SEO on your website. It's just the way it works. So don't confuse activity with productivity. SEO is an active thing. You can get in there and fuss over it all the time, but it's not necessarily the most productive use of your time. If you had 2 hours to spend, I'd spend 2 hours doing this any day over 2 hours worth of SEO because of the long-term results you get. I mean, go look at somebody's video on YouTube. It's got 100,000 views over the past 5 years, or maybe 100 million views. That time spent uploading that video was far greater than 2 hours spent, changing their title tags on SEO. So Jeff, I hope that answers your question. Anybody else? Hope you guys found value in this, and then I need to get going with the rest of my day. See you guys.